Now let's get started with the for loop. As in the previous videos we have already discussed the basic functionality and the basic feature of the iteration statements, that is, it will keep on executing unless and until a given condition is true. So the same feature will be followed by the for loop as well. But what's the speciality? The speciality is for loop should be used when the number of iterations are known. For example, if I want to find the even numbers from 1 to 100, I know that I need to execute the loop from 1 to 100. In this particular case, I can go for this for loop. But whatever I am saying here is just the ideal things. But if you know how to play with the loops, and that will come with the practice of course, you can replace any loop with any other loop anytime in your programming. Alright, so let's first get through with this for loop. As here you can see the syntax of it. Inside this for, you can see it is being classified into three different parts. That is, first is the initialization, second is the condition, and third one is the increment. So whenever you will begin this particular loop, as I said, the number of iterations should be known. So here I will initialize the value. Let's say I will initialize the variable I with 1. That is the initial thing. Condition means the finishing point, when you want your loop to be terminated. That condition will come here. So here I will write something like I is less than or equal to 100, means that is the condition. Unless and until the I value is less than or equal to 100, it will keep on executing. And increment, since I is 1 and it needs to go till 100, I need to keep on incrementing the value. I have to increase the value every time I am running this loop. So for that, it is increment. You can also take it in a reverse way, like I started with 100, I need to drag it till 0 or 1, and for that I will decrease the value. So it's all conditional as per your requirement, and inside this you will write the code. So this is how you can write a for loop. Now how it will execute. First of all, the initialization thing will execute. It will initialize a particular variable with any particular given value. Before entering to the body of the for loop, it will check the condition. If the condition is true, only then this code block will get executed. If the condition is false in the very first time, it will not execute at all. Alright, so the condition, if it is true, then the code block will execute, and then its increment. Increment means after executing the complete body, it will again go to this particular section where the increment will be taking place. Now after increment, again before entering into the body, it will check the conditions. Alright, so this thing will keep on executing unless and until the condition is true, and as soon as it is false, the code will get terminated or the loop will get terminated. Alright, so let's execute this particular loop practically. So in this implementation, you can see I have written a for loop in which there are three parts as I discussed earlier. Here it's the initialization part, in which I am initializing the value of I with 1. After that, it's a condition, means I want this loop should keep on executing itself unless and until this condition is true. So unless and until the value of I is either lesser or equal to 10, I want this loop to be executed. And how the value of I will reach from 1 to 10? I'll have to make the incrementation, and so for that, here is the I++. This plus operator will be increasing the value of I every time with 1. So what will happen basically, at the very first time when the control will come in this loop, this will be initialized with 1, and then the value of I will be compared with this condition. If this condition is satisfied, only then the control will come inside the loop body, and these set of statements will get executed, where I am just printing the value of I along with the breaking the line. Once all the statement of this loop body will execute, then the control will go to the increment part and it will increase the value of I with 1, means the 1 will become 2, and again before entering the loop we will check the condition, and this process will keep on going unless and until there is a condition satisfaction. As soon as the condition will be false, this loop will get terminated. So let's see the output of this program. As here you can see, I is equal to 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So as I said in the description as well, like we will use this for loop when we know like the condition, the number of executions are known. So here I am starting it from 1, I am taking it till 10. So it's obviously sure like I want this loop to execute from 1 to 10. If I want to make the increment more than 1, like I++ is just an increment statement, you can use any increment statement what you want. So here what I'll do is I say I plus equals to 2. That means here I'm incrementing the value of I with 2. So now when I will refresh it, you see I is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on. Now let's take one more example, like I want all the even numbers from 1 to 100 and I want the sum of all those even numbers. So what I'll do is I starts with 1, I is executing till I is less than or equal to 100. I will just make an increment by 1 only, so I++. And now inside, since this is the statement, you can actually use any statement inside this. So I will inject the if statement inside and I'll say I mod 2 is equal to 0. If the modulus of value of I with 2 will be 0, modulus means the remainder. So if you will divide any number with 2 and the remainder is 0, I will say that is the even number. So what I'll do is I'll simply put these statements inside the if statement. Alright, so I'll just pass the delimiters like that. Alright, okay, so it will print all the even numbers, something like this, like here you can see 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Now if you want to add all those numbers, so for that what I'm doing is I'm just taking one more variable for summing them up and I will initialize them all with 0. So what will happen here, whenever any prime number, any even number will be there, so I'll simply say sum is equal to sum plus I. That means whatever value is there in the I will add them up in the current value of sum and then I will update the new value of sum as well. For example, sum is 0. Now if I is coming inside this for the first time, the value of I would be 2. So the current value of sum is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. So that 2 will be assigned to the sum. The value of sum also becomes 2. Now the next time when the control will come inside this condition, the value of I would be 4. So what will happen? Here it will do current value of sum is 2 and I is 4. 2 plus 4 is 6 and now the value of sum will become 6. So likewise it will keep on executing till the value is of this I is 100. Now outside this loop what I can do, I can simply print the value of sum with the message like total and then concatenate. And before executing, let's remove this line break also. So now let's see the output and here you can see it's 2550. That's the sum of all the even numbers from 1 to 100. Similarly, we can also find the factorials like that. So let me take a number for that. For example, I will take it num is equal to parse int and here I'll use the prompt box, enter a number like that. Alright, and now what I'll do, I'll just start the execution from 1 till that particular number. Alright, and in factorial what we have to do, we have to multiply the numbers. So I'll have to do the product. So I will start the product with 1, because if you will multiply with 0, every number will become a 0. So pass int prompt and then enter a number. So here I am taking a number in this num. So what I'll do is I will start it from 1. You can also start with 2 also, because if you multiply anything with 1, it will remain the same. So it's all up to you. And now I'll just remove this condition, and inside this what I'll do, I'll say product is equal to product into num. Alright, I'll have to pass I here. Alright, because num is the maximum limit. So let's execute this, and here now you will get the correct answer. Like I entered 5 and it is coming 5 into 5 is 120. The factorial of 5 is 120. Like what it is doing, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Similarly, if you will do it for 6, it's 720. Alright, so this is how you can plan of using this for loop, in which there will be a variable which will be taking a value from a starting point to the ending point, and every time when I'm using this for loop, I know the exact number of executions.